Alrighty. So
Welcome, PP fam.
welcome for the
Oh,
first time ever recording.
I know. Lizzie, you have some episodes to catch up on. I don't know if you saw that I posted a new one today.
I just saw it. I didn't even know that was coming, so it was a good little surprise.
Yeah.
I got the notification and I'm like, what is this? But I'm like, okay, cool. I have something to do later.
Yeah, so it's kind of a mini so it ended up being like 38 minutes. But
That's okay. A cute little quick episode.
yes,
I'm down for
very,
it.
very interesting because it's like about the Titanic being haunted, but it's not the Titanic itself that's haunted. It's weird.
Okay. Is it just like in theory, like talking about it or
No, it's
well,
the
I
the
guess I'm gonna have to find
items.
out. Oh,
Mm. It's a fun
okay. Well, I'm
time.
looking forward to it. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
listen to it as soon as we got get off of here. Now I'm intrigued.
All
But
right.
today we're not doing hauntings per se, right?
No, we are
Yeah, I wouldn't call
no
this.
we're no clipping into the back rooms, if you will.
Yes, exactly. Um, yeah, so would you like me to start or do you have anything to say before we get into it?
No, you can go for it.
Okay. So we are covering the backrooms. It is basically a fictional location that began with an old picture that was posted on 4chan, and it was specifically on a forum about cursed images.
Hmm.
And along with this caption, it read, or sorry, it came with the caption, maybe, no, just kidding. If you're not careful and you no clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the back room where it's nothing but the stink of old, moist carpet,
Mm.
the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. And it was just like
Yes.
under anonymous.
Creepy.
Posted
Yes.
May 13th, 2019.
2019 is not
This
even
was
that
what,
long
5 years
ago.
ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Five
right?
years.
Five? I'm like, did I math correctly?
Something like that. Yeah. That feels like 2019 should be closer. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
seriously.
Oof.
That feels like last year.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, for me, I have the back rooms are an impossibly large, extra-dimensional place full of empty rooms. And then,
Ooh.
accessed by no clipping out of reality. But I'm
Mhm.
sure we'll get into detail
And
with that.
yeah, and I mean, just so you guys, if you don't understand the term no clipping, it's basically like it came from video gaming
Mm,
stuff. It basically stands for no clip mode, which is a cheat that allows players to pass through normally impenetrable objects, so walls, ceilings, and floors.
mm,
Um, so yeah, that's basically what it is.
mm.
Um,
That image is.
by the way, like I
Mm.
just, oh sorry, just
No,
to put
you're
it
good.
into context, because 600 million square miles, like when I first heard it, I'm like, yeah, whatever, 600 square miles. But that's like more than the Earth,
Jesus
which I thought
Christ.
was crazy. I like looked it up and I think we're about, I don't know if it was 19 million or 190 million or something like that, which either
Wow.
way is like not even half of what's
What they
going on here
claim.
in the background.
Jeez. I know, and there are
Yeah.
like what, like thousands of levels at this point that people have like
Hmm.
talked about. It is, I will say it is like somewhat fictional, somewhat not. Like people claim it's real, but then other people just fully went into the whole myth of it.
Yes.
So it is kind of
And I
a
mean, it kind of I mean, I would even consider this almost like as if the whole backrooms itself was a cryptid or like an entity,
yeah.
like kind of along those lines of, well, some people say it's real. Well, some people say it's fictional. And
Hmm.
who knows? It's like Slender Man, who started out as like a creepy pasta, but it's like, but some people are convinced it's real. So
Oh yeah.
we never know.
It could be one of those tulpas where it's like so many people start believing in it that it actually comes true.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly. I had totally forgotten about those, but it like that's what it was making me think of. Kind of
Hmm.
like that, all that joint consciousness, just transforming it into something legit.
Oof. I would hope they're not real because like imagine accidentally falling into it. Has people claim I have
No, thank
stories,
you.
by the
Yeah,
way. But
yeah.
yeah.
I'll mention this here because I'm not sure if you'll. I don't think you told me you're going to mention it, so I'll just throw it in. But yeah, as far as the people who have like dove into it and created this, I think, I mean, obviously it started out on 4chan, but later it went on to like Reddit, and they had their own group and stuff, and it just became a bunch of people who were building on it. And I think it's like I don't know if it's like just slash backrooms, not the real backrooms.
Hmm.
But I think on backrooms, you could literally go in there and it gives you a set rule, like a list of rules that you have to go by
Hmm.
if you want to, um, like add in your own story or something like that.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, it's like really strict, and like they don't, well, allegedly. Nowadays, I don't know how old this whole forum thing was, but I'm pretty sure nowadays people are just like throwing in things just to for the sake of
Hmm.
throwing it in.
Though I
Um,
will say when I went looking through like the wikis and stuff, it was like
mhm.
no levels are allowed to be added anymore. So maybe people
That
are
could
going
be
a
it
little
too.
overboard.
Maybe I believe it. There's like what, like I don't think it's 1,000, right? It's like in the hundreds.
I think it's in the hundreds. That being said, there's a level like 9 billion something 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 that I saw. So,
What?
and then there's like
Crazy.
level, like exclamation point and stuff. So there's some like
Oh my gosh.
non-numbered levels.
So hundreds and hundreds of rooms.
Yes.
So crazy. What I thought was funny is like how there's even like alliances that people make throughout
Mm.
it. Like they have almost their whole what would you call that? What am I thinking of? It reminds me of like fantasy teams. There you go. That's what
Hmm.
it reminds me of, like fantasy football and stuff like that. Where they're like creating these like alliances and groups of like all the people who are joining together to
Yeah.
explore the back rooms.
Yeah, and then all the like supposed
Um,
things that you can find in there and whatnot. Like what was it? Like the almond
yeah,
water and everything.
the almond water.
Oh no. Or I saw
Yes.
something about,
But yeah,
oh, but yeah, I saw something about like
no, go ahead.
I love a good pun and this one got me. It was the back shrooms and they're mushrooms that grow in the back rooms that you can eat. I was dying.
Ooh, I did not come across that. I love it. I want some backrooms.
Oh God.
Oh. We're like in there. We're like homies with all the entities and stuff back there because we're like we're all good, guys. We're just
Why
chilling.
can't we be
We give them
friends?
some backrooms too, and they're like chilling right there with us.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so that's a little bit of the history. I don't think I have any more history, so you
Let's
can
see.
go ahead and take it from here, ma'am.
I also have that some have also stated that they had seen that image somewhere before, like the picture on Reddit that's so
Oh,
popular.
oh
Everyone's like,
yeah, I like totally skipped over the picture. We didn't even
mm-hmm,
really give
horrible,
examples of it or anything.
horrible yellow picture. But yeah, people were like, it looks familiar. I feel like I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Yeah, and then I also have like stuff about no clip interpreting it as glitches in which the walls of reality are torn down. And
Oh yeah.
they mention such as the existence of doppelgangers. So I guess doppelgangers are considered a glitch. I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. We have to do
And
doppelgangers on its own
oof,
one of these days.
yes, that's a creepy one too. And then it is one of the best known examples of liminal spaces, which are basically empty or abandoned places that appear eerie, forlorn, or and often surreal. And like
Yeah.
we could do our own episode on liminal spaces too, if we so please.
Yeah.
Because
yes.
Oof.
I think I had that in here somewhere and I ended up deleting it. There's
Yeah.
just so much information. I was like, how can I minimize this?
No, that can be
Um,
its own.
yeah. I think you said you have stuff on level 0, right?
Let's see. Okay.
Okay.
So I have like we said, the backrooms original concept has been expanded by internet users who have created different levels of the location. One canon is that there are three distinct levels. So I have like the first three, I believe,
Okay.
but like little ones. Level 0, the lobby, the level depicted in the original backrooms photo. So the picture you see is supposedly level 0.
Yeah, which I'm sure
Featuring
you'll post
mhm.
on our Instagram.
Oh yeah, definitely. With the squelchy moist carpet, you know.
Oh, gross. I don't want to hear that word anymore.
Yes.
I'm done.
But yeah, it's featuring all of the creepypasta's most well-known characteristics. Moldy carpet. You're lucky they said moldy carpet.
Okay, I'll
Monochromatic
take that.
yellow walls. Buzzing fluorescent lights. One
Hmm.
of the entities created by users for this level are hounds, described as disfigured and manic humanoid beings. I hate that.
Hmm.
Another feature of this level is a no-clip zone, which may lead one to come back to Earth, to be transported to the start of the level, or to a new dimension with other hostile beings. So, like, you can possibly get out, or you could fall in deeper, which sucks.
Hate it.
And then I do have level 1, which is the habitable zone. A
Oh,
level.
hold on. Before
Do you
you
have
move
level
on,
1?
because I actually have a lot on level 0.
Oh.
Um, yeah. So I was like, let me see what you got, and then I'll add in
Mm.
all the extras. So yeah, you covered that. Blah.
Oh, one good thing to mention about level 0, the water from the carpets is not drinkable. I read that in there and I'm like, why would you
Yeah,
want to drink it? Gross. But I guess if you're surviving.
yeah. You're like, I'm thirsty, like go down there. Gross.
Ew.
Um,
So gross.
so devices such as compasses and GPS locators fail to function within the level, and radio communications are distorted and unreliable. Um, doo-doo-doo. There's also so there's like this whole thing about like hallucinations that you can experience on level 0.
Hmm.
Um, Most of them being humming from the lighting, increasing to a deafening volume, then abruptly silencing, the appearance of doors, the appearance of stairs, acute deja vu, human-like speech resembling no known language. I
Ew.
hate that. Movement in peripheral vision resembling insects crawling underneath the wallpaper, which disappear
Ew.
once the wall is observed directly.
Gross.
And insect-like chittering. And those are all like the hallucinations you may or may not encounter. Um, and another little subroom, I guess, within the level was the Manila room. And this one came up a lot, so that's why I thought I'd mention it.
Hmm.
Um, so it's basically a small room that can often be found in level 0. It acts as a safe point where wanderers meet when traveling through the level. It's an isolated square room with thick walls, named for the unique beige color of its wallpaper. It's commonly used as a meeting point for wanderers, despite the changing and isolating nature of level 0. It will always appear in the same location for everyone when discovered and does not have the same effect at level as level 0. So, yeah, most of the time, like, and I'll get into one of those groups that I mentioned earlier, which was MEG, or the Major Explorer Group, and they're the ones
Hmm.
who are kind of like giving you the layout of
Hmm.
this whole place. Um, but supposedly in there, you're gonna find some of their documents, so some of the documentation that they leave behind for you, kind of as like warnings and just like little notes, like, "Hey, be aware of this" and all this stuff. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so that's the Manila
I
room, and I'll send
mean,
you a picture of that one too, unless I
mhm.
forget.
I mean, good to see people are looking out for each other, I guess, while stuck back there.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, I don't know why anyone would want to voluntarily go back there, but like, sure, because it's just like very,
Yeah,
once you're in, you could possibly like just not come out. So I'm just like, why would you want to go in there
right.
with all those like creatures? But yeah, okay. So I have level one, habitable zone. A
Hmm.
level reached when no one chooses not to enter. Whoa, what? A level reached when one chooses not to enter a no-clip zone and instead wanders around level zero for days. There you go. It is
Oh
darker than
God.
level zero and features a more industrial architecture with mechanical-like sounds being heard throughout the place. The level appears to be a dark, dingy warehouse with low-lying fog and puddles of water around. Opposed to level zero, the fluorescent lights begin to flicker more frequently, occasionally shutting down completely. This is when the beings come out. And that's the end of that little
Ew,
paragraph.
gross.
So it's just like you're good until
I
the
do not
lights
want to
turn
go in
out.
there. No, thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, they did not mention as to whether that water is drinkable, just saying. So,
I don't think so. I don't have that in my notes. It just the only thing I came across was that there were also crates with random items that you can use to trade with other people if you encounter
mhm,
them, which does include almond water.
mhm.
So maybe there is water, but it would be the almond water.
Interesting. Okay. So then, and then last one I have level two is the one that I have. So that one's apparently called Pipe Dreams. The third
Hmm.
level of the backrooms, according to the three-level interpretation, it is one of the darkest levels containing more industrial-like architecture. This level appears as long service tunnels with pipes lining the walls. It is described as being reached when one simply wanders around level one for a long enough period of time and featuring a much higher temperature than other levels. I would hate that. Ugh, it'd be too warm.
Yeah.
Survivors of the back rooms claim that the only way to escape the level is to remain calm, stating that only when the back rooms have become your home can you depart.
Hmm.
So like once you're finally like
Interesting.
accepting of the fact that you may never get out, that's when you get out. Which is kind of funny because that's the way you get in, kind of like
Yeah.
being fine with where you are and not wanting to like leave is when you accidentally trip and no clip into a wall and go into the back room. So it's kind of like
Oh, I hate
the
it.
same.
I hate it. Why is that making me think of Harry Potter when they're in the what was it called? Devil's Snare, or Devil's Snag, or something like that. I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
what it was called, but when they were in that stuff, she's like, "Stop moving! It'll only kill you faster." And it's like, "Kill us faster!" Oh God, my brain.
Not
But
me,
that's like
not
literally the first thing I thought
Hermione.
of when you said that is like, uh, my bad.
hmm
But
Side
yeah, so
note, as a side note, we have a little friend with us right now.
oh, so where did you get that?
You were there when I got it. It was at Knott's.
Wait, is that the one from Knott's?
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
little ghost
yes, so
guy.
cute.
No,
I don't
I've
remember
been
it being that big. I thought that one was a lot smaller.
Yeah. But no, it's like a full-on pillow. I've been like laying my hands on it. That's why I'm like, I should show him
Love
off.
it.
Our little,
I'm
our
like,
pee-pee fam. Is it? I'm just gonna tell the rest of the story
dang.
like this.
Oh my God, I love it.
But anyways, what levels did you have,
Uh,
madam? Or should we talk about
yeah,
getting
for
in at some point?
oh yeah, we totally skipped by that. Yeah, I had that right before we started the level zero, and I totally forgot to add it in. We just jumped
Mine,
right in.
mine was
Um,
after the levels. That's why I'm like, wow,
oh, I
way to
see.
organize.
Yeah. Um, yeah, we'll finish up the level two and then we'll go back.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna like mention that the pipes that carried this stuff, apparently it's like this black wick liquid that's like really, really hot and it drips down from the pipe. So maybe, avoid getting too close to them. Which I
Mm,
mean, if they're hot, you're not gonna want to get close to them anyway, but especially
mm,
not if it's dripping.
Yeah, like ooze or
Yeah,
something.
so getting in, go ahead, take it away.
Okay. So, mind you, my source was WikiHow. So, let's see. First you need to find a wall that's slightly off from others around it. This might actually be the
Hmm.
hardest part of the process. You need to find a wall or a corner that looks like it's just wrong. Like where you're just like, wait, that doesn't look right. Not like it's
Yeah.
dirty or anything. It has to be wrong. A lot of explorers have luck looking for walls that are too dark or too light compared to the other walls adjacent to it. Walls
Mm,
that have a strange texture, seem to be blurry, or irregular curves may also be excellent portals. Only do this at your own risk. The back rooms are not only dangerous, they're deadly. They're also nearly
right.
impossible to get out of if you don't know what you're doing. So then again, with the whole like, only if you're not trying to get back there, they're saying like, relax and think about something pleasant. You will not get into the back rooms if you actively think about the back rooms or have a troubled thought in your mind. So you need to clear your
Hmm.
head, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Then think about a beautiful meadow or a warm, comfy bed, wherever you go in your mind's eye, where you find like basically your happy place. And
Yeah.
then,
Very meditative state.
unless you've discovered one of the rare open passages to the back rooms, you can't just enter and exit at your own will. You have to be in the right headspace for the back rooms to let you in. This is why most people fall into the back rooms on accident. The more you think about the back rooms, the more evasive they become, which gives me relief because I don't want to accidentally fall into the back rooms. So like I'm thinking if I am thinking about them, I'm not going to accidentally fall in because the back rooms are like that's what you think. So I'm not gonna do it, you know?
Yeah.
And then they just say
I
lean
hate it.
against, right. And then they just say lean against the wall and walk through it. Gently and casually put your body against the wall you found that's slightly off. If you're lucky, you'll fall right into the back rooms. If you don't fall in right away, don't panic. Reset your headspace and try walking or falling into it again. Once you feel that falling feeling and find yourself on the ground of a damp office space, you've made it to level 0,
Gross.
which is gross.
Nope. I know. I saw also like you can even get there by lucid dreaming or astral projecting, which I'm like, no, thank you.
No.
I'm like, the
Ugh.
less does is too much.
Yes, absolutely not. I like, luckily, I don't think I've ever been to a place that resembled the back rooms in my dreams. Knock on wood and all that.
Knock
But
on wood. I was thinking the same thing.
I'm like, absolutely not gonna
Um,
jinx myself.
yeah, there were a couple rooms while I was doing my research that I'm like, that looks a little too familiar. I'm gonna move on.
Oof.
Like, no, thank you.
Hmm. I mean, I will say
Excuse me.
dreams probably do like resemble the back rooms in the sense that places don't make I love your cup, by the way. The
My big ass
elephant.
elephant cup. I
But
know. I was like, let me see if I could just like subtly grab this, but it's massive.
forget like
I
just
was
let me
thirsty.
just heave on over my gallon of elephant almond water or whatever.
Listen, I've been trying to be hydrated. I have been drinking like three or four of these, and it's like, I mean, it's
Nice.
bigger than my head. So
Dang.
I've been drinking this
Yeah.
like, yeah, three or four a day.
I have my itty bitty
Nice.
guy over here. What is this thing like a 30 ounce or something? I don't even know the
Yeah, I have no
ounces.
idea what this is. It was actually a gift from my sister, and it was intended for coffee.
Ah,
I don't know where my lid is though. I lost it. I've
oh
moved
no.
so many times. It's been lost throughout the moves. But it's a good water cup.
It's a big cup. Reminder to drink some water, guys. Stay
Yeah,
hydrated.
stay hydrated, guys.
But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
dreams do resemble the back rooms in a way where like the layouts don't always make sense and like you're in
Yeah.
school and then all of a sudden you walk and you're in a mall or something and you're just like, how did I get here?
Yeah. Yeah, I get those way too much where it's like I think I've gone in from like a kitchen and then suddenly I'm outdoors and it's like but in some other country or something and I'm like going on.
Mm-hmm.
I hate those. You just never know where you're walking into.
It's a surprise every time. Let's see.
Hate it. It's fine. It's fine in dreams, but would not would not want that
Mm-mm. I
in the
know.
backrooms.
And then in dreams, you're just casually going along with it. Like you don't even realize half the time.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Mm. Until you wake up and you're like trying to explain the dream. You're like, I was over here, but then I was over here for some reason. No, like didn't it wasn't weird when I was dreaming it, but now that I'm saying it out loud, weird.
Right. Okay, so should we do getting out or should we do the levels now? More levels, I guess.
Um, we can do getting out, yeah.
Okay. So all that I have for getting out, I guess they just have like three different ways, which goes to show you how many fucking levels there are in this damn place. Because first I
Yeah.
have stumble on a glass door to go to level 27 and find the wood door. If you find a glass door in level 0, going through it will lead you to level 27. This is a series of rooms with a maze-like quality. The walls and floors are all wood, and explorers often develop motion sickness while exploring level 27. However, if you find a
You
wooden
see a ghost
door,
or something?
oh no, there was a fucking loud ass motorcycle, and I'm just like, excuse you.
Oh,
Um,
well, you know what? The good thing is that I couldn't hear it at all, so we're good.
okay, at least that
I just
much.
saw you look up and I'm like, what's going on?
Oh yeah, the ghost is here, you know. Oh, I didn't do the EMF. Next time, next time. Um, but yeah,
Next time.
the walls and floors are all wood, and explorers often develop motion sickness. However, if you find a wooden door in level 27, it may lead you out of the back rooms and back to reality. Level 27 has no food or water, so once you enter its hallways, you're on a timer. Do not take your time. So it's your way out, but you gotta
Wow.
rush. And
So once you
then
get there, you're like, you better get out quick.
because you have no sense of time, I guess. And then an alternate exit is
Yeah.
take take any downward path to level 1 and find an exit. If you happen to stumble across any stairs leading down, taking them will lead you to level 1, an infinite sequence of wet warehouse spaces filled with fog and cackling of electrical circuits. Rumors suggest that if you find the hub in level 1, a man-made complex that can theoretically take you to any level, even reality. So basically, you're going down to find that hub that supposedly has the exit. So that one sounds like very uncertain. Like maybe it's real, maybe it's not. And then the
Yeah.
last one I have is break through the walls to access level -1 and get lucky. So I guess there's a level -1
I
now.
forgot about the negative levels.
Yeah, so there you go. I'll just leave it at that. -1. And maybe it'll pop up while you're at
Maybe, maybe not.
-1.
Gosh, that's crazy. Okay. So I guess I'll give you some levels. And they're like there's a few of them, so it's a very short description of them.
Mhm.
Just so we can get through them. And then we can go on to entities
Ooh,
after.
spooky.
Okay. So we left off on level two. The next one is wait, did we do level three? No, right?
Wait.
I think it was
Uh,
just zero, one, and two.
0, 1, and 2, yes.
Okay, okay. Okay. So yeah, level three is exceptionally dangerous. It takes the form of an electrical station, so similar to the previous one. But this one has more like machines.
Mm.
And it has a lot of barred off areas. The halls often have no working light, and many of the entities lurk within them.
Oof.
Um, yeah, gross. So the back rooms allegedly have their own cell data and landlines. So level three actually has the strongest Wi-Fi than all the
Ooh,
other levels,
I didn't know there was
allegedly.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So I honestly I feel like it must have been added in there somewhere from someone who was like trying to prove that yeah, I'm in the back rooms. And it's like, okay,
That's
how are you sending this out? Like, well,
mm.
there's Wi-Fi here.
Convenient.
Um, yeah. So, it's also considered a hotspot for supplies. Um, Here you're gonna see entities such as hounds, which you already mentioned. Okay, now we're good.
Okay.
I'm like, my bad. So we left
Awesome.
off on the entities on
Yes.
level three. So yeah, so it has hounds, facelings, wretches, male and female death moths, skin stealers, dullers, smilers, clumps, and bursters.
Ooh,
Um, the crawler fungus has been growing here as well. The
gross.
high humidity makes it easy for the disease to spread here as well. So you are advised to maintain proper hygiene.
Wow.
Um, so it also like I think I mentioned it has like all the what do you call it? Because they have like all the electricity and the Wi-Fi and all
Mm.
that stuff. They also have their own computer sources, and they have their own rooms with rows of computers that
Hmm.
supposedly you can go in here and if you know how to hack, like you can figure out ways how to hack other rooms in the back rooms, which I'm like,
Wow.
uh, not exactly sure what that means, but okay.
Yeah, how very the
But if
Matrix
you
of
do
them.
log in, yeah. So if you log into any of these computers, like just be aware that the entities can track you and they're gonna know where you are.
Mm.
Um,
Ah.
yeah. So level four is one of the safest of the back rooms, having the form of an endless abandoned office. It has a it has a very what's the word that I'm they have a very plentiful supply of almond water. I'm like, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Mm.
And there's not many hostile entities, so maybe there might be some, but it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Um, or they're not like technically hostile. They might just
Hmm.
be chilling. They also have
They
hot water
they took
fountains.
those mushrooms.
Yeah, exactly. They're all chilling. I was thinking they might be I forgot which ones they were. I mean, I'll talk about them in a little bit, but I think it was the facelings. Those are technically
Mm.
like pretty docile, so I it
Hmm.
might be those. I'm not sure. It doesn't really say specifically. Um, but yeah, you're gonna find hot water fountains here, and by water I mean almond water, of course, because what
Hmm.
other water is there? Um,
Right.
so supposedly, like you can only drink uh boiled or yeah, like boiled almond water because raw almond water is poisonous and could cause convulsions and severe migraines.
Wow.
So yeah, so level four already has it ready to go for you. Um, let's and like supposedly like almond water can also soothe and relieve the skin and can
Mm.
also help silence the voices in your head. So if you feel like you're going
Gross.
crazy, just drink some hot almond water. Some
Sounds like
water.
I wonder if it's almondy in taste. I do wonder that.
Hmm. I wonder how similar it is to almond milk. Because I love almond milk. I
Ooh,
could drink some almond water.
true, true. Make some coffee.
Have you ever had rice milk?
No, I don't think I have.
It's really good. I remember when I was
Hmm.
vegan, I was mostly drinking rice milk. It tastes like horchata, just not
Oh,
as sweet,
well,
obviously.
figures. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and it's really, really thin.
Hmm.
So that's what I thought of first when I read almond water. Like reminds me of
Hmm.
rice milk, just like very thin, but like I mean it's rice, so it's gonna have like a grainy.
Mm-hmm.
texture, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's as close as I can assume it would
Uh,
be like. Okay.
mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
As a side note, rice water, very good for the skin if you like rinse your face in rice water.
Oh, yes. A lot of skincare brands have rice water in them. They
Hmm.
smell so heavenly too. Okay, so I think I just have three more levels here, so I'll try to get through them quickly. So level 7 is a room that is flooded with endless water for as far as the eye can see. Um, so that underwater there are skeletons and all over the floor. The water is distilled and oh wow, regular distilled water. But
What?
I don't think you want to be drinking the water that has skeletons and tar.
Ooh, that's true. That's true.
Uh, yeah. There's also the hub, which is
Mm.
a concrete collection of tunnels that lead to different back rooms. So it's basically kind of like this. I figure it's kind of like a subway type thing, or
Hmm.
like something along those lines. Like underground tunnels and stuff, and each of them
Yeah.
is going to take you into different rooms.
It's like the
Um,
Denver
mm, mm,
airport.
mm. Ugh, let's not go there. Um, while I was doing some of this research, I came across DIA so much. I'm like,
What the hell?
no, no, let's not go there.
There's your portal into the back rooms.
Oh, yeah, seriously. Um, horrible. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, so level 13 is a seemingly infinite apartment building that has like kind of 80s architecture.
Ooh.
The walls in the hallway are white. The carpet is brown with a geometrical design, so very 80s.
Hmm.
And the design is consistent through all the floors. To go up and down like each floor, you're going to want to take the stairs, not the elevators, because the
Hmm.
elevators will take you to other levels of the back rooms, not the apartment building.
Hmm.
Um, so if you go down to the lobby, which is on floor 0, you are going to find a faceling attending at the front desk, and it's unresponsive unless you ask for an apartment key. If you do, you will receive the key from this entity, and the key will be used to open up its respective apartment, and it allows you to have an apartment on level 13.
Wow. I wish it were that
So,
easy getting a home here.
yeah, seriously, I read this part and I'm like, you know what?
Like
It's
maybe we do go to the
no
back
rent.
rooms. I can drink almond water.
I can live off almond water. I'm gonna be a skinny queen.
Honestly.
Oh my God, I'm dead. We're gonna be so in shape. We're like running away from all these entities, but we have our place.
Honestly.
We have our like supply of almond water. We're good to go.
Hmm. Our 80's
See you on
apartment.
level see you on level 13. Bam, yelling. Oh my God. Okay, let me see. Level fun, despite its name, is one of the most dangerous levels.
Of course.
It is the home level of the party goers and takes the form
Ooh.
of an endless complex of rooms full of party decorations. The entities inhabiting the level discussed previously are incredibly dangerous and are known to vandalize the database to fool wanderers into approaching them. Entrances to this level are often surrounded by confetti and party favors and can thus be identified and avoided.
Oh God. You like run into a party, you're
This
like, shit.
level specific, yeah, no, you do not want to go near these things because they look cute, but they're deadly.
Ooh.
This level, oh my God, I kept coming across on TikTok. So if
Mm.
you want to see a visual representation of level fun, just look it up on TikTok. It's eerily creepy. Okay. And the end.
Of course.
This level is a trap, basically. So it appears to be an empty library with computers and a sign in large letters that states, "The end is near." This level creates fake realities intended to trick you into believing you have left the back rooms, which only keeps you there and makes it easier for the entities to wander. especially the party goers, to find you. Um, the exits to this level are still undocumented. Some people think that it's a secret passageway into the true exit, but nobody's ever found it. The true exit, for all we know, is called level nothing.
Wow.
So that's the level that I covered.
Good levels.
Hate it.
Crazy
I hate it.
levels.
Too many levels. Okay. Do you have any entities that you'd like to talk about or no?
I do
Or
not
anything
have
else you'd like to discuss?
all I have is stories of folks who claim they've been there. So I can do that at the end.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So I only I mean I gave you guys all the names of the entities, but I'm not going to go too deep into explaining all of them. Like each one, I'll just
Hmm.
kind of give you a few of them. So you already talked about hounds, which were these like humanoid things, right? They crawl on
Hmm.
all fours, and have a dog-like nature to them. So
Hmm.
what you didn't mention, and I thought was like so gross, is that they hatch from eggs
Ew.
and they originate from level 276, which level 276 I should have looked up because it comes up later too. But yeah, avoid level 276. Um Facelings, like I mentioned, are these docile humanoid looking things without faces. Um They usually inhabit levels with urban environments or significant human populations. Um, and yeah, usually they don't really engage in anything. Like they can, but it's all very like
Mm.
basic things. Reminds me of the what were they called? Were they called thumb thumbs?
Oh
Thumb
no,
thumbs.
ew.
Not the thumb thumbs. Oh God, that's what it made me think of, but not as aggressive.
Hmm.
Um, so if they are provoked, they will attack, but they're usually weaker. However, there's child facelings, and those can be more dangerous,
Oh.
which is gross. I hate it. Um, so there's wretches, which are human-ish, they somewhat, but not really. They're often described as acting as like zombies.
Hmm.
Their fully infected body will have reddish brown skin that is dry and flaky, covered in holes and pustules,
Ew.
secreting a thick red-brown substance. Weaker wretches exist, but the majority possesses superhuman strength and can break through walls despite their fragile skeletal appearance.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, let's avoid those. Then there's death moths, which inhabit the backrooms as well, like on several levels. Mostly level 276. So the male death moths are usually harmless, and possibly even tameable, which I'm like, how would you tame a moth? Like, what do
Yeah,
they deliver messages for you? Like, are they like
honestly.
pigeon carrier pigeon or something? I don't know
Although
what they meant
I
by tameable, but that's what I imagine.
I did hear that what was it? I think it was on level 0 or something, like along with the mushrooms.
Hmm.
There was death moth jelly. So maybe you tame them to get their food because like
With the
that
jelly.
stuff the jelly is edible
Oh,
or
oh,
something.
I see. Okay. I thought the jelly was for the death moths.
No, no, no. They
You
make the
can find it and
jelly.
like give it to them and tame them.
Yeah, no.
Oh
Yeah, it's kind of
gosh.
like I would
Well,
assume the way bees make honey or something, they make the
I
jelly.
see. Okay, so we're gonna be eating uh death moth jelly and almond water. Cool beans.
Yum. Delicious
Um,
and nutritious.
so good. So good. Okay, so female moths are several times larger, can spit acid, and are entirely hostile. Um, and yeah, so they're on level 276, and
Mm.
that's where they are the most deadliest and most aggressive. So, like I said, don't go to level 276 unless you're trying
Hmm.
to deal with all these monsters and critters and stuff. Smilers, which I'm pretty sure you've come across. Have you seen them?
Hmm.
It's literally like the big, like light up
Smiley
happy face,
face.
like the
Yeah.
smiley face. Yeah, so gross. So they're basically, yeah, they can be identified by their signature reflective eyes and teeth gleaming in the dark. The best way to escape a smiler is to keep eye contact.
Oh.
Um, so they tend to reside in dark areas of level 2 and level 3, but their base is known to be the smiling room, which I did not cover either because I'm telling you about the smilers,
Mm-hmm.
which should be enough. It's basically their headquarter.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a long smile with multiple sharp teeth and have white glowing eyes. It's rumored that they have a physical body which cannot be seen with a human eye, but it's rumored that they have non-human, alien-like bodies with arms and legs bent in unnatural ways, which
Ew.
gross. Um, so I mentioned the disease earlier in one of the levels. The disease is basically this infection, like a kind of like a co I'm assuming it's like COVID, like it spreads like very easily. It's an airborne
Mm.
disease. It causes the formation of blood clots that block blood vessels. This leads to hemorrhaging coupled with hemophilia. I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And necrosis of limbs and organs that no longer have blood flow during due to the clot induced blockage of blood vessels. So yeah, it's in some of the
Interesting.
rooms or some of the levels. Yeah, so just try not to get sick. Um, blah, 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 where am I? Oh, this one was funny. I had seen clips of this on TikTok, but then I also had heard M talk about it on
Mm-hmm.
their episode, and I thought this one was just like I had to add it in here because I thought it was funny. So it's a blue parrot by the name of Jerry. He likes sunflower seeds and almond water. But if you don't have
Mm-hmm.
any almond water to give him, just avoid him at all costs because he will try to convert you into his cult following if you
All
don't give him
hail
almond
Jerry,
water.
I guess.
All hail Jerry.
You know
Yeah,
what that
followers of Jerry call
that
what?
just reminds me of one of the jobs I used to work. The like CEO's name was Larry, and we would literally joke all the time, all hail Larry. So I'm just like, wait a
Oh my
minute.
God. Yeah, they just call him Father Bluebird.
Oh gosh.
His cult, his cult following call him Father Bluebird.
Father
I
Bluebird.
don't know what level he's on, but apparently he's just somewhere. So
He probably wanders or
you see
something.
a blue parrot, just give him almond water and run away. Um, so skin stealers, this one was
Ew.
especially disgusting. Yeah, so these are humanoid figures who wear the skin of their victims. Their outer layer of flesh is covered with microscopic bumps, similar to the suckers of octopus tentacles. Um, this skin will stick to torn off humans, and it will push and pull it on to make the skin of the victim fit until the skin stealer looks identical to a human.
Ew.
So after about 24 hours, the skin will be digested through the surface of the skin stealer, and then the skin stealer will enter a docile state and wander around aimlessly. So if you see a skin stealer and he's acting pretty calm, he just ate another human. So,
Gross.
mm-mm. Yeah,
Horrible.
no, thank you. No, thank you. And then the last one I have are clumps, which are clumps of limbs that climb surfaces and crawl through the vents
Ew.
to look for you. Um, every clump has one very long arm which they can use to reach up to 8 feet away. Once a
Jeez.
clump has grabbed you, they'll reveal a set of sharp teeth and begin to pull you in and eat you. It is believed if you are eaten, your own limbs and possibly fragments of your mind are absorbed into the clump, so it just gets bigger and bigger as it takes new victims.
Jeez.
Disgusting.
Not
So
not
gross.
a looker in the bunch, I swear.
No, no, thank you.
Mm-mm.
Just gross. Maybe the death moths. Maybe
Yeah.
the death moths.
Even then
Those
only
might be the
like
only normal looking things.
even then only like the male ones because apparently the female ones are like the worst.
Hmm. Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. Well, that's all I have for mine. So I'm ready for some
Ah.
stories.
Some stories. Yes. So I was looking through, reading Reddit, looking around for like crazy levels and stuff. And then I just ran into like a couple of stories where people are like, hey, I think I've been there. So I was just like, what? So I think it's like two or three. I forget how many I saved. But yeah, so this one's called My Real Story of Backrooms, question mark. And this is from Reddit. I forget the thread, but it was from user Dreamer420 bruh. So it goes, right.
They need some of the backrooms.
Hmm. So yeah, I've seen this meme on a meme page on my social network, but I did not take it serious. I never take things like this serious. I just like to read something creepy from time to time, but I'm a straight skeptic. Tonight, about 10 minutes ago, I finished watching a video about backdoor on YouTube. I am assuming this person's English is not their first language because I'm catching errors left and right. Anyways, and I came up with a horrible fact that I was there before I knew about them. For note, I'm a pro dreamer. I can experience a wholesome dream just for 5 minutes between my alarms. I can also manipulate dreams partially sometimes. It was in my dream around two
Crazy.
months ago, right? I just appeared in there. The whole place was not yellow, but it was white. Lamps everywhere too. It was full of bookshelves. Eventually, my friend was there too. At least it looked like my friend. He was reading a book to me
Oof.
about, yeah, about universe li life. We were just walking from room to room. Some had two floors and stairs, some were older and dilapidated. In the 10th room, he stopped and took a new book and started reading. My far forgotten memories, so accurate, time, weather, all of it. I was hanging nearby and saw a small room. I decided to go in. And what I saw I will never forget. Six of me, six copies of me without eyes and
Oh
black
no.
areas instead of mouth. So that's interesting,
What are those?
right? I was almost gonna be like black-eyed kids. Ugh. Um,
Right?
yeah. They looked at me all at once. I am a man of almost no fear, but I was horrified. I ran back to my friend and closed my eyes, and I woke up. These were my back rooms, but from the real dream, or maybe dreams are something more. I cannot know now, since how specific this dream was. Again, choppy language. It looked like the back rooms. Beware, if you come up with being there, do not leave your guide. He will keep you safe. And if you are all alone, do not dare open doors. So.
Yeah. I hate it.
Yeah, like the copies of
Uh,
him. I'm like, I wonder
am
if it
I afraid to go to sleep now? Just a little bit.
I wonder if it's some sort of like dreams back rooms because like you said, he strayed from the dream and opened a door and there were copies of him. I'm like,
Yeah.
I wonder if those copies are meant to go out into other people's dreams that are thinking of him or something. They
Yeah.
just weren't fully formed. Ooh.
Interesting. What
That's
if
a thought.
they're just him, but on different planes of existence,
Ew,
all meeting
and
up in one room?
right, they're all dreaming at the same time. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Creepy. And then and the next one's short. It's by user A Coney. I've had very similar dreams like this when I was younger, and it wasn't till recently when I heard about the back rooms that it felt like deja vu. Because I can still recall those dreams, and they were
Mm.
by far the most fearful and paranoid-like dreams I've had. Even in the dreams, I recall hearing footsteps, but it was all bright yellow and smelled like an old thrift shop, like vintage style. For some reason, I get fearful just thinking about it, but I don't know why backrooms seem familiar. I've also been drug-free my whole life, so
Mm.
it's nothing like that. It's weird. Edit. In these dreams, I was always alone and there were no doors, just infinite rooms that are connected. I also recall hiding in like a corner wherever, whenever footsteps would sound closer, but then they would stop as well. And I think that aspect of it is what really freaks me out and scares me when I think of it. It didn't feel like a normal dream. So that very much sounded like the lobby.
Ugh.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Ugh. Gross.
So yeah, and a lot of these are, yeah, they're very dream related. So that's fun. Let's see.
No, thank you. And I mean, like I did say that you can kind of accidentally go in when you're lucid dreaming, and the first person at
Hmm.
least seemed like someone who is already like a very well practiced dreamer per se.
Yeah.
So they might have accidentally done that.
Oof. And
Gross.
then I I have one last one. So this one is my very real encounter with the back rooms, which makes me think it's not a very real encounter. No, but this is by
Yeah.
user Alex underscore base underscore guy. So today, today I stumbled upon a YouTube video from the excellent Nick Crowley discussing the phenomenon known as the backrooms. As someone who has spent literal decades savoring the strange, the dark, the occult, the conspiratorial, I have somehow missed out on this particular concept. Watching his short but intriguing overview of the backrooms made my skin crawl. I had a very real, very waking experience just a few years ago, which took me to a place that is so disturbingly similar to these back rooms. Imagine my surprise when the video and most related content described this as nothing more than a creepypasta with its roots in 4chan. And while my experience does have a seemingly innocent explanation, the similarities are far too intriguing to ignore. This is all 100% true as it happened to
Hmm.
the best of my recollection. For background, I am a professional musician and record producer with a career that started in 2010. Nowadays, I spend my time in the studio, but for many years, I toured the US full time as a bass player with a wide variety of bands. In mid 2017, one of the larger bands I toured with, 40 Ounces to Freedom, a Sublime tribute act, in case you were curious. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Was hired to play the Brooklyn Bowl in Las Vegas. This was an excellent gig, paid great, and we were always treated very well by staff. The Brooklyn Bowl is part of Caesar's family properties. As such, we were always put up in very nice rooms at one of Caesar's own casinos on the strip. On the night in question, we had been placed in individual suites at the Lean Q. That's the room with the very large Ferris wheel, in case anyone was wondering, in Vegas. It's it's nice. That's a good hotel. After playing the gig, we all went back to our rooms. My bandmates were excited to spend the rest of the evening partying it up on the strip and hanging with fans. However, I had a very early flight out of McCarran the next morning to play with a different group back home in Colorado. So he's a Colorado native.
Ooh.
I decided to forgo the offer of a night of fun and just relax in my room until my flight left. Sometime around 3 a.m., I decided to go down to the lobby for a snack. So I got dressed, put on my shoes, and left my room. I walked to the end of the hall and called the elevator. Getting on, I pressed the big rounded L button. Lobby. That's when things got strange. The elevator lurched slightly as if it didn't quite know what to do with my request. The overhead light flickered out for a split second, but after a beat, it was as if nothing was amiss. It began its descent without further protest. In the moment, I didn't think much of it. It was late after all. Perhaps it had been sitting for a moment and just needed maintenance. But when I reached my destination, I knew something was wrong. The door slid open, but where there should have been a bustling casino lobby, there was simply a large, empty white room. A rusted, red
Oh
painted
no.
metal staircase led down from a landing opposite the front of the elevator door. Opposite the staircase, an enormous red metal door. Above the staircase, a loudly humming off yellow fluorescent light.
Hmm.
Sorry. Initially, I was baffled. I looked at the display in the elevator, in confirmed this was my in and confirmed that this was indeed the lobby. My mind raced to all of the stories and places I'd learned about glitches in reality, underground cults, human trafficking rings, illicit auctions, Silent Hill. But all of that was just lore. I had to know what I had stumbled on. I walked down the staircase and approached the door. By sheer luck, it was open. I swung it open and stepped through. Around a sharp corner, there stretched a long, faded hallway with seemingly infinite rooms branching off in either direction. Aging greenish yellow wallpaper patterned with what looked like a leaf or floral motif. Dank, dusty, moist carpet. Sorry to mention it again.
Ugh.
All lit by humming, flickering fluorescent tubes. A sharp sense of danger and wrongness tingled through me. What the hell is this place? How did I end up here? I decided to press forward a bit, overcoming the impending sense of doom that had consumed me. I walked up to the hallway a short distance, peering into the rooms. Each was dark, empty, devoid of windows, and covered in the same fading wallpaper. There was what looked like graffiti here and there, scrawled illegibly in the walls in black ink. After venturing past 3 or 4 rooms, each step became a dare. I knew I should turn around and get back to my room. Whatever this place was, it was not a pleasant place to be. It made no sense, and so trusting my better judgment, finally, I turned around and went through the red door, up the staircase, and called the elevator. After what seemed like an eternity, the door slid open, and I was whisked without incident back to the plush confines of the Link queue. So he made it back. I had decided that I
Huh.
suddenly wasn't that hungry, obviously. Several hours later, I readied my things to leave for the airport. I got on the same elevator, wondering if it would take me to the same strange hallway. I pressed the L once more. No shutter, no flicker this time, and just a moment later, the doors opened to reveal a bustling pre-dawn casino lobby that should have been there all along. So now it took him back to where he's supposed to
Mm.
be. And they
Interesting.
and they do have a slight edit um where they're like, as I said at the beginning of the story, there is a partially plausible explanation. The Link Q was established in 2014 after a short 2-year stint under the name the Quad. But prior to 2012, the lot belonged to the aging Imperial Palace Casino. The Imperial Palace was built in 1979 and featured an Asian-themed decor. My best guess was that I somehow happened upon a section of the hotel that was simply a part of the old Imperial Palace that hadn't been renovated. Descriptions of the interior
Mm.
match the old property that I saw, but there are still key elements that make no sense to me. The palace was destroyed to be rebuilt as the Quad in 2012, 5 years before I was there. How would any section of the old hotel still be there? In theory,
Right.
there could still be an untouched portion left, but there was like so much renovation, he goes on to say. And the elevator took him to the ground floor. So why did it? That would not be the ground floor. It would have taken him lower. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, and then he
Hmm.
just mentions like, oh, that could have been the back rooms, but then he also has a theory that maybe he like time jumped to when the hotel was like abandoned but not yet torn down, he
Right.
says. But yeah, so that was my last story, and that one is the most backroomsy
Creepy.
of it all. And he just took a fucking elevator. I hate it.
The fact that he got into the elevator again, though. I would have
Right?
taken the
I
stairs.
exactly. I
I'm
would have
like
been like,
very brave of you to
uh-uh.
go back in there.
Yeah, or I would have made
Mm-mm.
someone come with me just in case.
True. It's like, you know what? Let me not get in the elevator by myself this time. Let me
Mm-hmm.
let some people in, maybe.
Right. Maybe that'll make all the difference.
Yeah.
But
Or, I mean, maybe it wouldn't even matter because, like, supposedly, even if you go into the back rooms, if you no clip into the back rooms with a group of people, you end up
that's
getting
true.
dispersed.
Oh,
So,
ew. That sucks.
which I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but yeah,
Mm-mm.
like even if you go in with someone else, you guys end up on different places. You don't end up in the same
Wow.
spot. Like you may still be on level zero, but in different rooms.
Yeah, that sucks.
I hate it.
Okay, so the Zoom timer is telling us we have 4 minutes, so we should probably wrap it up.
Oh no, not the
Right.
timer.
Not the timer. We'll
All
figure out
right,
a new streaming
we're gonna
situation.
have to.
Excuse
But at least
the,
we
yeah.
made it. At least we made it through this one.
Yes, and excuse any glitchiness that may occur or any weird editing. This is all new to
Hmm.
us.
Yeah, seriously.
And happy episode 50 from
More
what I
so
saw.
new to you. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I almost forgot. Happy episode 50. Oh my God,
Ooh,
I can't believe we've made it to 50.
right.
You know what? What a good time to get our first like recorded
Hey, that's true.
episode for episode 50. Happy
Mm-hmm.
coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, we
Not
did
planned at
it
all.
on purpose. This was
Yes.
intentional.
Hmm. We didn't plan it. What do you mean? What are you talking
How
about?
dare you?
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you've made it this
Mm-hmm.
far. And we'll see you
Yes.
guys on the next one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.